The Cell arc was a race to stop not only the androids from finding Goku, but also Cell from finding the androids. In the hopes of achieving both goals, Goku decides that the Room of Spirit and Time must be utilized to defeat the androids and Cell, since they are currently below all of them in terms of raw power. So, as soon as he wakes up, cured of the heart virus that had debilitated him for so long, Goku seeks out not only Gohan, but also someone who he thinks is also trying to achieve the same goal, Vegeta. You see, this trip into the Room of Spirit and Time wasn't just to make them stronger, it was actually a way to further evolve the Super Saiyan form, and that was not something Goku came up with. Vegeta had stated his intentions to do so even before Goku had awoken, and they each claim that the other will seek to do the same thing. This leads them all to using the Room of Spirit and Time, as well as the Super Saiyan grades being created and used against Cell due to Vegeta and Trunks going in first. But what if they didn't? What if Goku and Gohan entered the Room of Spirit and Time first? Before we dive any deeper into that though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more Dragon Ball content. To start, we have to have Goku convince Vegeta to go into the Room of Spirit and Time second, and that's actually fairly easy. He tells Vegeta that he'd learn more from seeing Goku's mistakes and have a better chance at surpassing him, rather than the opposite happening. This leads to Vegeta's arrogance showing, as at this point in the story, Vegeta still says he wants to kill Goku, so this perfectly aligns itself with his own goals. As it stands right now, they are fairly even in terms of power, as Goku made clear when saying that if Vegeta isn't a match for the androids or Cell, then he isn't either. Taking advantage of Vegeta's own pride and goals gives Goku the ability to use the Room of Spirit and Time first with Gohan. So, Goku takes Gohan into the Room of Spirit and Time, which actually changes more things in a fairly interesting way. The fight between Piccolo and Android 17 still plays out as it originally did, leading to the arrival of Imperfect Cell, who absorbs Android 17. Now, a lot of people don't realize two things. One, Vegeta and Trunks were already in the time chamber for almost a full day by the time that Android 17 and Piccolo start fighting. And two, Gohan and Goku didn't even use a full day when they were in the time chamber in canon. Inside the time chamber, things actually remain fairly the same. Goku didn't see Vegeta use Super Saiyan Grade 2 or Trunks use Super Saiyan Grade 3 in the original story either. Rather, he discovered them on his own while in the Room of Spirit and Time. This should mean that Goku would discover them as he originally did, and thus come to the conclusion that these aren't the evolutions of Super Saiyan he was seeking. That's right, Goku would still create Super Saiyan Grade 4, and Gohan would of course follow in his footsteps. As I said, Goku and Gohan had left the Room of Spirit and Time early, 3 hours early to be specific. So, they weren't in there for a full year, and it seems that Vegeta and Trunks were actually in there for exactly a year, if not slightly longer than one. Goku and Gohan coming out early would give them plenty of time to teleport over to Cell as he's about to kill Ten Shinhan, just as Goku did in the original story. Before they leave the lookout, Vegeta is shocked at how Goku and Gohan are remaining in their Super Saiyan states naturally. Seeing this inspired Vegeta to follow in their footsteps once he entered with Trunks. So Vegeta and Trunks enter the Room of Spirit and Time while Goku and Gohan teleport to the battleground. Goku has to get Ten Shinhan and Piccolo out of there quickly, so he looks to Gohan and asks him to stop Cell from absorbing the last android. With some trepidation in his eyes, Gohan wants to say that he can't, but his eyes wander to the limp bodies of Ten Shinhan and Piccolo. They were willing to fight despite having no chance of winning. Gohan had to honor what they were willing to do by trying his best to help as well. Gohan's face changes to a look of determination, and as Semi-Perfect Cell charges in towards Goku, he's stopped by a swift kick to the head, slamming Cell into the ground. Goku smiles and teleports Piccolo and Ten Shinhan to the lookout, where he can get Senzu to heal them. Meanwhile, Gohan continued to beat down Cell, and it wasn't malicious or violent though. Gohan was legitimately only stopping Cell from getting to Android 18, and by doing so, he gave Krillin the chance to fly her away along with Android 16. There was nothing Cell could do. Perfection was slipping through his grasp, and the thing stopping him from achieving it was Gohan, no less. "I don't want to kill you." Just what Cell needed to hear. The child was not only stronger than he was, but he had morals. Then Cell realized he could use this to his advantage. The Frieza within him felt a chance coming. Beg for mercy, say you've changed, and get the android the minute he lets his guard down. The plan was perfect. Now to execute.
"Maybe it's the Goku cells inside of me, but something in me yearns to break free of the cruel fate Dr. Gero destined for me."
Gohan was taken aback by Cell's statement. Maybe they could end this without killing after all.
"I'll leave right now. Spare me and you'll never see me again. I'll stop hunting the android and I'll disappear into the shadows."
Gohan was convinced by this plea, so he steps aside and lets Cell go. Cell flies in the opposite direction of Krillin and the androids, but he had a plan. It would be easy enough to fly away and circle back around to Krillin since he could still sense the Earthling after all. So, once Cell feels like he's at a safe distance from Gohan, he begins to circle back around and intersect Krillin and Android 18. In mere moments, Cell is able to catch up with them, and the expression of sheer terror on Krillin's face is palpable, but he swallows and steps forward, passing Android 16 to 18. He's going to stop Cell from getting her, if only for just a moment longer. Cell simply laughs at Krillin and prepares to attack him. As the monster charges in, Krillin yells to Android 18 to fly away as quick as she can, and she does. Then, Krillin immediately uses the Taioken to blind Cell and launches a Kienzan at him in the brief window he has to attack the blinded artificial life form. But Cell dodges it with ease. He can still sense energy after all, but this would be a problem. He could only find Android 18 because Krillin was flying with her. Now she'd be undetectable. Quickly, Cell flies past Krillin before he can even react. However, his path was blocked by Gohan, who looked furious that Cell had lied to him. Cell has to get past Gohan quickly, but he doesn't know how to do it. Too late. As Cell tried to think of something to do, Goku teleported back to Gohan. He had waited for Ten Shinhan and Piccolo to be healed before returning to the fight, and more than that, he even hoped that Gohan would have handled it on his own. However, Piccolo said to Goku something that he didn't consider. Gohan isn't a fighter. Gohan doesn't want to kill even if it's for a good cause. Gohan isn't Goku. So he tells his son to step back. He's going to finish this fight, the fight that he started so long ago. I shouldn't have to go into detail here. Cell was someone that even Goku never gave a second thought about killing, so it only makes sense that that feeling would remain here. Cell is defeated and Goku is alive. But that's not the only change. Android 16 remains alive, and with the help of Bulma and Dr. Brief, he's not only repaired, but also has the programming that made him want to kill Goku removed. Dende is still brought to Earth by Goku as they wait for Vegeta and Trunks to exit the time chamber. Vegeta and Trunks exit the Room of Spirit and Time as Super Saiyan Grade 4s, which even more easily allows Trunks to save his own timeline from the androids, and 3 years later, even Cell. During the 7 years of peace before the Buu arc, Vegeta begins to mature as a character. Having Goku readily around means he matures even more than he did in the original version of events, because that relationship isn't stagnant. Vegeta also gets the opportunity to spar, train, and fight with Goku, as does Gohan. This would mean that they are all more powerful because of the benefits of group training. Even Goten and Trunks are stronger because of this, especially when you consider the fact that Goku thought those two were weak in the original story. I would go as far as to say that Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan get Super Saiyan 2 over the time skip, but not Super Saiyan 3. Super Saiyan 2 is the natural evolution of Super Saiyan Grade 4. Whereas Super Saiyan 3 seems like the more strenuous, forced evolution that requires special conditions in order to achieve. This, at the very least, leaves us with Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta all being much stronger than the original story's Cell arc Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. As I said, Vegeta is far more developed as a character by the time of the Buu arc, so he wouldn't become Majin Vegeta. Even more importantly, Gohan would just flat out be strong enough to handle Dabura without any issue, and it should be clear what I'm trying to say here. Once again, the perfect conditions to have a Buu arc happen in the series just aren't there in this version, and thus we have no Buu. But that won't stop Beerus from waking up someday. And if you'd like to hear this story continue onto that section, make sure you leave a comment and hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more Dragon Ball content, and thank you very much for watching.